Hello everyone and welcome to Simplex Cuisine. My name is Harper, if you did not know, and today we're going to taste test and review Amy's Indian Palak Paneer. And like all these freezer aisle section taste test reviews that I've done in the past, we're going to see what the actual meal looks like, how is the process of making it, but more importantly, how it actually tastes. And, a little bit of, my commentary about what I think about the food. And last but not least, do I think it's worth your time? AKA, does it taste good enough for you to pay for it? Or should you just leave it alone? But with that being said, let us begin. Okay, so we have the actual meal. So let's open it up and just see how it looks like. Because, part of this review is just seeing what it looks like and more or less like making fun about how different the actual reality of the food is versus the incredibly manufactured marketing picture. So let's just see. It's quite small when you think about it, but we have this like here. Honestly, there's not a lot of rice, which makes a lot of sense because it's only 300 calories and rice is a lot of calories. But you have a lot of the cream spinach and the bean stuff, which I know the name of it because I am smart. The Rajma dal. Let's see how we're gonna cook it. We're gonna do conventional oven because I'm not spending 50 minutes cooking this. So let's see. 1-inch slit in the overwrap and then cook for 4 minutes. Yep, 4 minutes sounds way better than 50. So I'm gonna put this in and then we're gonna see how it looks after it's been cooked up. So far, I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm just really hungry, and I've also been craving Indian food, and because, we're still in quarantine, I can't go to, an Indian restaurant, and only place to do takeout in my area that's, open to takeout, the dishes are incredibly expensive, and I'm not paying those prices, so this will be like, tying me over until I can start eating, at restaurants again. So more or less, let's go on from there. I'm talking a little bit too much. Okay, so we are back. It is very hot, and oh my gosh, I will definitely have to let this cool down for a couple minutes because I do not want to have my whole mouth burnt and then not be able to eat anything for the next 5 days without it tasting like ash. But let's try to do this without me getting burnt by the steam. And there we go. Okay, so there's 3 pieces of the cheese. I forgot what they're called. It's a very specific name. I will have the name somewhere, but there's only 3 pieces of it versus this box saying that there will be multiple pieces because, manufactured pictures. It's a little bit more beans than there were in the picture, which I think is a good thing at this point. It's probably the cheapest thing to make, so they put a lot in it. The rice looks pretty fluffy, actually, kind of sticky, but not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Honestly, this is pretty good. The reality of this, it's not that far away from, the, what do you call it? The expectation. So honestly, it's not that bad. So with that being said, I'm gonna let this cool off for a couple minutes and then let's see how it actually tastes because it can look as nice as it can, but if it tastes terrible, all bets are off. So with that being said, let's go on. Okay, so we have the meal right here. It's been sitting around for a couple of minutes, not a very long time. Let's just first taste test the spinach, the cream spinach. Okay. Some of the spices are off a little bit. It tastes a little bit what it tastes like in the restaurant, but it's been frozen for a real long time, which of course it has, so that's not surprising. Okay. And then the beans. Okay. Beans are good. The beans themselves, they're not falling apart, they're perfectly cooked, which is really, really impressive. The same thing with the spinach where the spices are there, but they just taste a little bit off because they've been, frozen for a long time. But honestly, it's not that bad. So finally, a little bit of the rice. Yeah. Not seasoned at all, gummy. So not that. But more or less, I'm gonna mix this all around because, why not? I probably shouldn't mix this all around, but I want to. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Is my first impressions of each individual things, are they better after I eat more of it, or do they taste worse? So let's see. Okay, so I've had the entire meal. Let's talk about it. So number one, overall, it's pretty great. I'm pretty filled up, but then again, I drink a lot of water. But I definitely feel like there's a little bit part of me that feels like I'm a little bit more hungry. And if you're like, someone who's bigger than me, because I'm like, a 5 foot 20-year-old woman, which is surprising to a lot of people. Kind of look like I'm 12. I know, I'm not sure. I think skincare routine is just like, genetics at this point, but more or less, so if you're like, you're bigger than me, or have a higher metabolism, this probably will not fill you up, which is pretty worrying because it was like $5-6. So that's a little worrying on the face of it, especially because you can get, meals for way cheaper that are more filling, like you can have fast food, or you can like have like a bigger meal at like the frozen section. So that's a little worrying if you're on the basis of just like, I want to get a filling fast meal. It does taste really good. All the ingredients, they don't feel cheap. They don't feel, not cheap because it's frozen food, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like they like got really bad, poor ingredients because they want to like, keep the prices down. At the same time, the spices are a little off because you can definitely taste the spices, and that's amazing. But they're, for me at least, when I go to Indian restaurants, I never need salt because the spices are so intense and delicious and plentiful that, you just don't need salt at all. You don't need any seasoning to, help keep the dish going. And I feel like for this one at least, they don't put enough seasoning like they do at restaurants. So you do need salt, you need more seasoning. And even after you have seasoning, you always just feel like, at least for me, that there's a little bit something off, like you still need something more. Again, same thing for like quantities. So, quality kind of falls a little short, quantity falls a little short. I am more critical about the dish because of how expensive it is. Overall, I did like it. I felt like it was above average when it comes to, frozen food meals. I definitely feel like this does deserve on my scale 1 out of 10, 1 being absolutely atrocious, I can't even finish it, it's so disgusting and horrible. 10 being, actually this is really, really good, it's better than I thought it was, it's even like better than I would think it would be in a restaurant setting. I will have this definitely again and again and again. I would give this a solid 6. I feel like it is above average. It just has so many other like little tiny falling short limitations that, at least for me, it does kind of like nag me a little bit. Overall, I did really like it. I feel like the gumminess of the rice and the fact that the spinach was a little bit also, it felt a little wilted to me. That was super worrying. Again, I'm used to like, fresh out of the kitchen Indian food. So that might be just like, my, bias or like my personal opinions about Indian food coming in to sabotage this review. But to me, for a frozen food item, for its price, again, I feel it's a little overpriced, but then again, they are giving you a pretty good quality food. This is pretty great. So again, above average rating, I just don't think it's anywhere, farther than that. As a whole, I did enjoy it, but I definitely feel hungry still, and that's a little worrying. But from there, that is my review of Amy's Indian Palak Paneer meal. Comment below what you think about this meal. Have you had it before? What your own thoughts about it is. And then, of course, comment below which other Amy's frozen food section item meals should I have. Because I said that there's a whole, section, like Amy's, they have a lot of, higher quality, pretty small meals. So why not I just, like, review more. But from there, I hope you like this video. Of course, if you do, click that like. If you want to see more from what, just subscribe. I hope you have an amazing day. I will say time, and as usual, goodbye.